So I had fun at the card shows this weekend and hanging out with my Detroit crew, man. Always great to see all the guys, and I always got to pick up a couple projects, you know. So this one's just a card that reminds me of just collecting when I got into it when I was a kid, you know. And I know that the centering's not great, but I still love the card. I love cards more than I love grades, by the way. But I do like improving them, of course. But the edge is 8, surface 8.5, corners 5.5. I think it's a good project card, and hopefully you guys, for all of you that collect cards from this era, I'll be able to show you a few things. So first up, we're going to crack this out. The main two spots I can pick out on the MJ that I can do anything about. Of course, can't do much about the centering, but it's just an awesome card. I don't really care about the centering. I just like the card. But there's a little dent right there. And since you guys have good eyes, I know you can see it right there. I got a little chip of paint right there, guys, so if you catch it during the video, there's nothing I can do with that side. But then, that's like our main thing, and I feel like I've neglected a little bit of like the 88, 89 Fleer stuff. It's just stuff that like, maybe I just unconsciously just had it forever and I just got, you know, so used to it that I haven't used it in demos in a while. Oh, there's another reason that it's like dipping down. So like what I'm looking at right here, guys, is just using my light. So it's shadow on the front. So that means it's dipping downwards. I think we should be able to fix this one up nicely though. So here's what we'll do first. I think I can get that just out with probably a little corner tool and just a penny sleeve. So let's take a look here. These cards are soft and paper, so they usually tend to work with you pretty well. Just gotta be light and delicate with them. If you ever do any of these applications with a heavy hand, you could screw it up, so just take your time. That looks good, right? That was just a little. I'll do the back side of it too. It's always a good thing too is if you have a ding on the front and you just gently remove it like that, do the same thing on the back, just so the card meets right in the middle and stays nice and flat. That worked great. I like it. All right, so that little guy is gone. Now we're gonna do this one. Kind of a heavy hit, but it's an MJ, man. You gotta try to fix it. So before, I might have to use some moisture on here, a little card spray to kind of get it back in its original shape and let it dry out. But before I do any of that, I'm just gonna see how far we can go with the tool. Again, take your time. We could all be impressed here real quick, and it could just go in the right direction for us quickly. Or we might just need to work on it a little bit. Go down that bottom edge, go right towards that corner, and then go right top edge towards that bottom corner. Just a little bit too beat up to stay together all by itself. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's put down a penny sleeve right there. Let's put MJ right there. I wanna have it this way so I can work with it a little bit better. And that's the thing we're going after. What I wanna do with the corner tool though, guys, is I wanna unpack it. Because if I can get that, there's a heavy crease right before that, which is making it flip up. Alright, so the thing is it's laying flat, but it clearly has a crease. So I'm going to use a little bit of card spray on cotton. And I just want to hold it on here for a second. These cards are like 99% paper, and they have a little bit of like, you know, the paint and the lacquer on the front. So a little bit of moisture usually helps these things out when you got a crease like this. I'll look at it one more time. Okay. So what I want to do is just do a little bit on the back, and that way we'll have the front and the back just pre-treated a little bit. And you guys will notice I'm just using a light amount of moisture here. You don't need to soak it out or anything like that. That's not really the point. It's kind of similar how I use a humidor on certain things, but like if you put a card like this in a humidor with a defined crease right there, it might make it a little bit softer to work with, like when it comes to using the corner tool. But I just find that doing a little bit of direct moisture like this when they're, you know, have a pretty severe crease going across is probably your best starting point. Then I got this dip right here. Remember that little dip right there and then that corner. So now I'm just using a little bit of card spray, shot it on the table right there. Maybe I'm too zoomed in. So I'm just now, guys, gonna get a little bit on my finger. That, and we'll touch that. We'll touch that dent on the side, just real light, and that should make that dent rise up. Sometimes it'll do it right in front of your face, kind of like it's doing right now. Okay, so now let's go back over here. And I believe that I'm just gonna get a little bit more moisture here on my finger. Wipe that bottom, side, top. Okay. Then I'm happy with that. Remember, guys, you can always come back and do another round or whatever, you know? So it's easy to get like ambitious or excited and be like, I'm gonna keep on going, keep on going. No, when you're using moisture, you just wanna use a little bit and let the card dry out for a second, kind of like let it take its shape. So I'm not gonna pinch this card down. I try to use the clamps, like if I'm doing like a full-blown like vintage baseball card with a bunch of dents all over it, it makes sense to hold it in there. But like for this MJ, everything else looks good. I don't want to have like some corner being pinched down real heavy over here, you know? So let me, we didn't even get really into it yet. I'm gonna let it sit here for a while, but just let me show you what it looks like before even doing this now. So isn't that cool, guys? You can still see that crease in there. It's not blown out anymore, but it's not totally healed. So I'm just gonna let it sit. Just let it hang out for a little bit. All right, MJ, work with us. Well, I'm gonna find another project for a few minutes and we'll come check on this guy. It shouldn't take long for this to set up. I'm gonna probably let this rest like this for a half hour. So we'll see you in 30 minutes. All right, so let's take a look at this. And centering 6'5", I think it's kind of rough. I mean, it looks, I know it's sitting low, but besides that, man, these cards were super off-centered, so whatever. Edges 8, we worked on one edge. The corner, we worked on the corner. And the surface, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm blind, but the surface looked better than 8.5 to me. So let's take a look. So I just had the Jordan chilling. This is all I did. Just wanted to let that dry out slowly and just kind of like hopefully set back in shape. And let's take a look. Looks pretty good, guys. Let me show you. That looks awesome. So we got our nice, and you notice guys how it's not pinched down? You don't want to pinch your cards down, especially if you grade them. It would be considered altered. So don't pinch your corners now. That's about as best as I can get it, fellas and ladies. But I would have to think. So like, let's do there, there. I can still see a little bit of a line in there. That crease didn't go away 100%, but pretty darn close. Then let's look at the back. A little bit of a dirty card at the top. Maybe that constitutes a little bit of surface grime. But gosh, the corners look good. So fun weekend project, right guys? And really, it only, the work part of it only took about, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then just let it rest for a while. So I will get this regraded because it's a sweet card and it needs to be in a slab. And I think that we have improved several of these. So I'll keep you posted. Talk to you soon. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care.